Hello everyone. Myself Dr. Pradeep Dubal, a working faculty at Gnanadeep IIS Pune, and today I wanted to discuss some very frequently asked questions about anthropology as an optional for UPSC. Many times students are very confused about the criteria which are required or the criteria to be adopted for choosing an optional subject. So first of all, I'll tell you in very short that which criteria should be used by you people to choose your optional subject. Basically, there are only two criteria. First is your interest, and second, if at all that subject is of your graduation. So other than these, the availability of study material, the availability of mentor, etc., these are not the criteria, but these are some factors which you should consider. If the study material is not available in your city, you can go and buy the study material from Delhi, buy the study material from Hyderabad, Pune, etc. Or if you are not having mentor in your city, you can change your city for some days for coaching or for some test series or etc. So those factors can be managed, those factors can be taken care of, but these should not be the deciding factors or the criteria to choose your optional. These can be overcome easily. The criteria which cannot be overcome very easily is your interest. It is very difficult to build interest in some subjects which are not at all favorable or which are not at all having any interest or you are not having interest in those subjects. So first of all, see whether you are interested in that subject, and second, if at all you are graduate from that particular subject, if you are graduate of chemistry and you are very fond of chemistry, then you can go for chemistry as an optional. If you are graduate in medical science and you think that medical science can be prepared by you very easily, very comfortably, go for medical science. But other than these, don't apply any criteria to choose optional. Then next question many times which is asked is about anthropology. I will talk henceforth. I am engineer and shall I go for anthropology? I am graduate in arts, shall I go for anthropology? Or every person from different graduations or different backgrounds keep on asking me whether I should go for anthropology as my optional. So my opinion regarding this is that anyone, this question or all the questions can be framed into one single question: who should opt for anthropology? So in my opinion, every person from every graduation can opt for anthropology. Now second question immediately comes, what problems will be posed by the part physical anthropology and anthropology syllabus, because I had no biology in my 12th class, I have no biology background in my graduation, I have been studying in technical field since my 11th class or since my graduation, I am engineer by graduation. So will physical anthropology pose any problem to me? So to these kind of questions, I will say that even if there is some part related to biology in anthropology, that part is very small. If you consider physical anthropology, which concludes the genetics and the other biology chapters, which are biology chapters in the sense those which are related to human physiology or skeletal studies, etc., or applied physiology, applied physical anthropology, etc. So those questions form a very little part of your total syllabus, total question paper. If you consider paper 1 where physical anthropology is included, that question paper of paper 1 is made up of, or it consists of 400 marks in totality, that is including optional questions also. So out of that you have to attempt the questions of only 250 marks, but the total question paper size is of 400 marks, and out of those 400 marks 150 questions are on physical anthropology directly or indirectly, including all the questions. So you can say approximately one third part of paper 1 consists of physical anthropology, and if you include paper 1 and paper 2, that becomes 1/6 of the syllabus or 1/6 of the question paper. So that is a very small part about which you should not be much worried. That can be covered. Again, the biology part which is included in anthropology is of very low difficulty level. So that can be considered as 12th class biology level. So if you are able to understand the 12th class subjects or biology of 12th class, you are very you will be very comfortable in anthropology also, because simple genetics or basic biological factors of human body are included in your syllabus of anthropology, which can be understood very easily. Because those terms are totally new to the people from non-biology background or technical background, engineering background, they think that this is difficult, but it is not at all difficult. It is of very low level difficulty. Okay, so I think you should not be worried about physical anthropology. Rather, in the end, I will be telling that physical anthropology is the part which enables you to score maximum marks in paper 1. So if at all you are confused between, or you are supposed to choose between socio-cultural anthropology and physical anthropology to attempt the questions in paper 1, I will advise you to go for the questions of physical anthropology, because that is very straightforward part. If you know that, you can easily write the answer. If you don't know, you can skip. Okay, so and if you attempt the physical anthropology questions, there are more chances to get maximum marks. And that's why if you see the scores of individuals, maximum students are getting very high marks in paper 1 than paper 2. For the same reason, that is physical anthropology. Then next question is many times which is asked is I'm confused between sociology and anthropology. Which subject should I go for? So this question is also an obvious question, because many points of sociology and anthropology overlap with each other. Specifically the part related to socio-cultural anthropology, that is marriage, family, kinship, these social institutions and many other parts which are common in sociology as well as anthropology. But the approach of two subjects is totally different. Till date, if you are a student of technical background, listen to this point very carefully. Till date, if you are having technical background, then prefer anthropology as your optional. And if you are having liking in analytical questions, some thinking part, then go for sociology. So that's the straightforward answer or straightforward approach, because anthropology questions are very straightforward. Write down the characteristics of Neanderthal man, cultural characteristics of Neanderthal man, or write down the skeletal features of Cro-Magnon man. So those type of questions are asked in anthropology, which are very straightforward. If you know that, you can write down the answer, you can go to the next question. There is very little vagueness in the questions. So in sociology, content wise, I don't know much about sociology as a subject, as a discipline, except the overlapping part. But I can say with certainty that those people which prefer analytical questions, or those where you have to apply your own thoughts also to some extent, of course, then prefer sociology. That's the best strategy or best approach. Then one more question which is frequently asked is, what's the time required for anthropology preparation? Now this is very subjective question, or the question which has many answers. I may take 2 months, someone else may take 1.5 months, a third person may take 5 months also. So it depends from person to person. But as per my experience, so many students in my last 2 years batches, so many students had shifted from geography, history, political science, etc. to anthropology. And according to the experience of those students, I had personal discussion with them. According to those people, the time required for anthropology is much less than the other bigger subjects like political science, history, geography, etc. Definitely sociology is a small subject as far as the content or subject matter is concerned or syllabus is concerned. But I don't mean that anthropology subject is small, but if the comparison is made between the other subjects like political science, history, geography, definitely the study material of anthropology will seem to be very smaller, and it may take less time than the people opting for other subjects. One more thing, it depends again on your interest. If you are much interested in anthropology, then only you can finish it within small period of time. And if you are not having interest in that, you may take some more time. Okay, so that's very subjective. In the beginning also I had told it differs, or it varies from person to person. Okay, then one more obvious question is, will optional subjects go, and should I study optional from right now? So the answer to this question is, we don't know whether the optional subjects will go or not. What UPSC will take decision, that's not in our hand. But I can say in this regard that the rationale behind bringing optionals in the exam, optional subjects in the exam, was very concrete. The answer to this question is frankly that I don't know, because we don't know what UPSC will take decision, or what advice will be given by different committees to the UPSC, and what will be the final outcome. We don't know exactly what will happen. But I can say that the rationale behind the optional subjects was the outcome of very concrete thought, that there was necessity of people from different backgrounds, people with different kinds of knowledge, and that's why it is very difficult that optional subjects will go. Now some people may say that one optional subject has already been reduced. There were earlier 2 optional subjects and now there is only 1, and probably the second optional will go. But the reason behind the first optional being removed from the curriculum was to create a level playing field for all candidates. So there is necessity of 2 things. One, to bring the people from different fraternities or different knowledge fields, and second objective is to create a level playing field. But at the cost of level playing field, I don't think the optional subjects will go. There are many other alternatives for this problem. They may reduce the optional subject to some more extent. They will increase the number of GS papers, or the marks, or whatever the scores of GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. There may be addition of one additional paper related to administration and law, etc. So that more level playing field will be created. But optional will remain, in my opinion. Optional will remain. Then obviously, even if optional subject goes, I will say that if you study it right now and spend or give your 2 to 3 months for its preparation, you may be at the loss of 2 to 3 months. But if you don't prepare your optional and it remains in the next examination, then you will not be able to prepare it after prelims up to your mains, and you may lose your 1 attempt and you may lose your 1 year. So it is better to lose 2 to 3 months rather than landing in a case where you are losing entire year. So my advice is, prepare optional subject whichever you are having, not necessarily anthropology or sociology or anything, but prepare your optional right now before facing the next year's exam. Okay. Then very routinely asked question that many students are now opting for anthropology, and what will be the status of subject after 1 or 2 years? Will there be any scaling down, which was evident in 2012 year for public administration, and in recent years for some other optionals also. So again, it is very difficult to answer, because scaling down, even if we consider that this is a fact, or if it is happening, of course it is happening in 2012, definitely it happened with public administration, but it can happen with any subject, not necessarily anthropology or not necessarily sociology, not necessarily public administration. It can happen with any optional subject, and the fear of that scaling down should not be the criteria for choosing your optional. Again, that should not be the criteria for choosing your optional. There are only 2 criteria which I have mentioned earlier, because let me talk about anthropology in particular. I agree that number of students opting for anthropology is increasing day by day, but it is not at the pace or it is not at par with the number of students opting for history, geography, political science, public administration, etc. The number of students opting for these subjects are very very high. There are very huge number of students opting for these subjects, and anthropology students, even if they are increasing, still they are very less than geography, political science, etc. The reason behind this fact is very straightforward, that many students are unnecessarily afraid of physical anthropology and they do not opt for anthropology very easily. Okay, so it is very difficult for them to overcome the fear of physical anthropology. They don't opt for anthropology, and only few students may think that yes, this is optional for me and they can go for it, but still the number is very less. And in last 5 to 6 years, I don't think there has been any scaling down, or there has been any disaster for anthropology which has happened for many other subjects. And even in near future, at least for next 2 to 3 years, I don't think there will be any case for anthropology about downscaling and etc. Then one more thing, that is there any advantage if I am having biology as my background? This is again a routine question asked by people. Is there any advantage if I was having biology in my 12th class, in my graduation, if I was having medical science as my graduation? I will say that the biology background is neither a necessary nor a sufficient condition for choosing anthropology as your optional. Many times even medical science graduates suffer from difficulty, because I will tell you one example. If I am having some question, I am a medical graduate, and if I am having some question on genetics, then many times the medical graduates try to go to their embryology and pediatrics books and they try to find out the answers from those books for your questions, for genetics questions. But that is not at all necessary. In medical books, you will be given much more material on treatment part or management part. If I am a medical graduate, what I will be studying about Down syndrome, I will be studying about its management, its symptoms, clinical symptoms and all those things. But in anthropology, you are supposed to know about the genetic mechanism in more detail, the frequency of that disease in the population across the world, or what are the cultural factors which are related to this Down syndrome, etc. So the approach to see the same thing is totally different in medical science and anthropology. And if a medical graduate goes with a confidence or goes with an overconfidence that I know about Down syndrome in very detail, he may land up in some problem and he may write the answer or write in the answer many unnecessary things which are not the part of anthropological approach. But at the same time, an engineer may ignore or may avoid those mistakes and may stick to the part which is related to only anthropology, or he will be at more advantage in these kind of parts, in these kind of syllabus points. So in my opinion, the medical graduation or biology knowledge is not at all a necessary nor a sufficient condition for choosing anthropology as an optional. Okay. So these were some of the important questions, some of the very routine questions which were being asked by many students on my WhatsApp as well as on Facebook, etc. But even if I have missed some questions, please let me know. I will try to answer as many questions as possible, probably in personal chat box or in a common video like this. So I'll be coming with one more video on how to write the answers or how to choose the questions from question paper, specifically for paper 1 and to some extent in paper 2 also. But till then, let me know if at all you are in need of any clarification about any point in the anthropology or any of your problems in choosing anthropology as your optional. Okay. So till then, thank you so much. Have a nice day.